Hey, welcome back, lawn lovers. BW here. Hey, let's go see what kind of weeds we can find. It's July 27th today, and it's that time of year now when most of our spring weed preventers have worn off, and the weeds are starting to pop up again. Last year I taught Mrs. BW some of the names of the weeds that she was pulling from the garden, and she really thought that was fun. So she asked me if I would make a video teaching the names of the common weeds that most of us find in our lawns in the northern U.S. Thank you, Mrs. BW. That's a terrific idea. So let's go see what kind of weeds are popping up. I let the lawn grow a little because after mowing, it gets harder to find the weeds. Pay attention now because there's going to be a test later on. Starting up by the garage here is a broadleaf weed that looks like some kind of cross between a dandelion and a thistle. And it is a thistle, called Sow Thistle, and it's a perennial that will come back every year. Here's one next to it that I sprayed a couple of days ago with weed killer, and you can see that it's dying already. Here's some yellow woodsorrel, or Oxalis, with a little bit of quackgrass around it, and a baby tree just to the right of it. Here's a decent close-up of some yellow woodsorrel, or Oxalis. Let's go look in the South Renovation. I used some starter fertilizer with weed preventer in this area because I thought I might be, and I actually did do some overseeding of thin areas here in the spring. The starter fertilizer only gave me 2 months of weed prevention, but it worked very well. These first two look a little bit different, but I think they are the same thing, Sow Thistle. This one's just a little more mature than the first one. More Oxalis and Sow Thistle. Don't spray young grass with weed killer until it's old enough to have been mowed a few times. Over here by the peas and beans you can see some Purslane. And more Purslane. There's lots of Purslane going on in the garden. Here's a Dandelion-type weed. I say type because there are some different types of these. Here's some Spotted Spurge and everybody's favorite, Crabgrass. Over the fence on my neighbor's property is a nice carpet of crabgrass. Gee, I wonder where I get my crabgrass from. I end up getting most of my weeds along this fence because of that proximity, and because it's a little difficult for me to spread my pre-emergent between the fence and the gardens, without getting it in the gardens. I planted some Bewitch Kentucky bluegrass under this tree a couple of years ago, and look what's happening. This is summer patch, a lawn fungus that hits in the spring but doesn't show damage until the heat and stress of the summer. It looks just like Necrotic Ring Spot. Bewitch can resist Necrotic Ring Spot, but suffers from summer patch. I'll have to plant another type of bluegrass here that is resistant to summer patch. Notice the ring shape. Some people call it frog eye. This really looks like a frog eye. And the same thing, but not a perfect ring shape. A better ring shape here. Between the fence and the sandbox here, I have some more crabgrass. Over by the pepper garden, I have some more fungal damage. This could be dollar spot or more summer patch. I'm not positive about this, but it does have a large ring shape to it. Here's some more crabgrass, no surprise there. You can even see it creeping in here. Here's some Oxalis next to the small sedum. Here we are in the north part of last year's renovation. There's plenty of weeds here too because they get started before the new bluegrass can completely take over and crowd out the weeds. Here's some Sow Thistle, Spotted Spurge, and Crabgrass. Now we're in 2018's renovation, and there's some heat and drought stress happening here, but more interestingly, there is a good example of some dollar spot fungal disease. This usually occurs in the more wide open areas of the lawn that get a lot of dew overnight. It's called dollar spot because of the way it begins as small silver dollar sized spots in the lawn. The middle of the lawn is original lawn that's over 40 years old and waiting to be renovated. Over here where the tree steals a lot of water from the lawn is a good example of some coarse tall fescue grass. This, like most grassy weeds, can only be killed with a weed and grass killer and has been a real inspiration for me to renovate my lawn. Look how wide those blades are. Oh, and don't forget about another one of my favorite grassy weeds, Quackgrass. That's scattered all about the old section of the lawn and grows faster and taller than the rest of the grass. All of the broadleaf weeds and the crabgrass can be controlled with a general purpose weed killer like Weed B Gon plus crabgrass, but some may need a repeat application. The grassy weeds can only be killed with a weed and grass killer like Roundup. Okay, I said there was going to be a test, so let's go. Unscramble the letters to reveal the correct answer. This goes pretty fast, so pause or rewind whenever you need to. I bet you got them all correct, didn't you? Here's a list of the answers, just in case you're not feeling very perky today. Well, that's today's lesson, so hit that subscribe button and enjoy the rest of your summer vacation. And don't forget, you can do it.